In my opinion, it's an end of an era. It's an end of a career for the man Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. You know what I mean? You know, this guy, to be honest, how old is he? About 30 years old. There's nothing left for him to do in boxing. What the fuck? He gonna move up? Try to capture a bantamweight title? No, he's gonna get decapitated, you know what I mean? You know, arguably, Chocolatito arguably, in some people's opinions, and I won't even argue with him. Arguably, Chocolatito lost his last three fights ever since moving up to super flyweight. You know what I mean? The fight with Carlos Quadras, I had that a draw, meaning that fight could have gone either way. Some people might have had even Chocolatito winning. Some people would have had Quadras winning. I thought a draw was fair. That's the reason I wanted to see a rematch, and so did the WBC. You know? His second fight at super flyweight versus Sor Rungvisai, the first fight. I had Chocolatito winning that fight 7 rounds to 5. You know what I mean? He did get dropped in the first round. Rungvisai did get deducted a point for a headbutt. You know what I'm saying? So, that was a close fight. Again, some people had Rungvisai winning. You know what I mean? You check it. So, that fight was a little controversial too, you know what I'm saying? But I thought the right man, I thought Chocolatito won that fight, you know? You know what I'm saying? I ain't cry a river for him, you know what I mean? It was a close fight, but I thought that he did win the fight. You know what I'm saying? This third fight right here with Sor Rungvisai, ain't nothing controversial about this, you know what I mean? The man Chocolatito was getting bodied, He did look decent in the second round, but the third round, those body shots took a toll, you know what I'm saying? And you see the man's punch resistance, yes, man. Right now, Rungvisai is just too strong for him, you know what I mean? He was just entirely too strong. He dropped the man, Chocolatito, in the fourth round twice with his right hand. And Rungvisai is a southpaw, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, man. You see, these guys, man, at these ages, it's hard for them. It's hard for them to carry on in their prime in their 30s. You know what I mean? I seen fellas like Michael Carbajal. Them fellas was a great fighter. But them fellas wasn't the same fighter he was before he was undefeated. Before them losses to Chiquita Gonzalez. And them fellas, Carbajal, you know what I'm saying, arguably even won all them fights versus Chiquita Gonzalez. The last two at least, You know what I'm saying? And these were the guys that basically put these little guys on the map, you know what I mean? They paved the way for Chocolatito and them to be fighting on HBO, you know what I'm saying? The man Chocolatito, in my opinion, though, he's done everything he can in his career, you know what I mean? 4 different weight champion. He surpassed Alexis Arguello. He had a title of 135, 130, 126. Chocolatito did what his idol Alexis Arguello didn't do. You know what I mean? Being a 4 different weight division champ. So that's a remarkable feat for this young man. You know what I'm saying? Young man, yeah, he's 30, man, but that's old for these small weights. Believe you me. You know what I'm saying? Even Mark Too Sharp Johnson, man, one of my favorite fighters of all time from Washington, D.C., the youngest member to be in the Hall of Fame, to be inducted into Canastota International Boxing Hall of Fame. When them fellas started reaching them ages of 30, man, he started taking some losses, you know what I'm saying? You check it, so, what's his name? Rafael Marquez beat the man twice, the second time. And Rafael Marquez was the younger dude, while what's his name? Mark Too Sharp Johnson was getting up there in age, you know what I'm saying? And that's when he got caught. He got caught by Rafael Marquez, you know what I'm saying? And fellas like Johnny Gonzalez ended my guy's career, But them fellas, Mark Too Sharp Johnson was about 34 when he retired, you know what I mean? But he did take a couple losses in his 30s. But before that, man, Too Sharp Johnson was a bad man, you know what I'm saying? Only little guy who really came out unscathed, even though I think he did lose that one fight to Rosendo Alvarez, was Was my guy from the Mexican, man, one of the best Mexican fighters of all time, Ricardo Finito Lopez. You know, them fellas came out unscathed, as in went undefeated, had only one draw in his career, and that draw was versus a big ass Rosendo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that was the only blemish on Ricardo Lopez's career. You know what I'm saying? He still got out the game undefeated. You know, I thought he should have one loss in his career, but I'm not going to cry over that. The man is a legend, you know what I'm saying? And he got out the game undefeated, you know what I mean, without taking punishment. I can't say the same for this guy right here. This guy took punishment, Chocolatito, in his last three fights, you know what I mean? You check it, you know. Them fellas did everything he could, you know what I'm saying? Them fellas did deserve to be on the pound for pound list. I didn't have him ever in my life at number one. But Yagashi, the guy he beat at 112, that was a very good fight, you know what I'm saying? Them fellas beat Estrada at 108, you know what I'm saying? You check it. I thought a fight he won clearly. The Utaki Inida guy he beat at 105 at the minimum weights. These guys he beat were the cream of the crop in his division, you know what I mean? It's not my fault that some people don't know this guy. That's why a lot of people were shitting on Roman Gonzalez when they saw him at number one pound for pound. They were like, "Who the fuck is this guy? I never even seen him fight." You know, that's why some fellas need, you know, fellas, if you're covering boxing, man, it's a good idea to know these fighters from outside of your HBOs and your PBCs and Showtimes here in the States. You know what I mean? Because really and truly, there's a lot of great fighters outside of the United States, especially coming out of Japan, them smaller weight guys, you know what I mean? Yamanaka was always in the pound for pound list, you know. Fellas like Chocolatito, he ascended in the pound for pound list. Anui, he's in the pound for pound list. And most of these guys don't even fight on American TV, you know what I mean? You check it, so, you know, I don't think this guy Chocolatito should even consider fighting again. That's out, dogs. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Your career is cemented. Your legacy is sealed. You know what I'm saying? You're going to the Hall of Fame for sure. You check it. You know, I think the death of his trainer before the Sorungvasai fight, you know, I think that was detrimental to his success going into the future. You know what I'm saying? You know, he lost the fight with Rungvasai. I thought he won, but the first fight, you know, his trainer had passed, and that was the first fight he ain't have his trainer, you know what I mean? You check it. So, you know, this guy was contemplating basically, man. He probably thought about this rematch, win, lose, or draw. He probably thought, man, I'm probably done with boxing, you know what I'm saying? Because the way he looked, even in the first round, man, Rungvisai was catching him with the left hands. He couldn't miss with that left hand, you know what I'm saying? Chocolatito wasn't really throwing punches. It looked like his mind was somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? You check it, it looked like his mind was somewhere else, and, you know, this is basically what probably would have happened to a guy like Klitschko if he came back in that rematch with Anthony Joshua. Good thing he retired, man, because these type of things will happen to guys. Shit, man. I mean, even fellas like Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao struggling with you know, the motivation to get up and fight this guy Jeff Horn. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if that was the last fight we ever seen from Pacquiao. I'd hate for Pacquiao to go out like that, just off the strength that I thought he won the fight. You know, but it's hard for him. You know, these guys are younger, stronger guys, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why Floyd ain't fight none of these younger, stronger guys at the end of his career. You check it, you know, especially them fellas on the PBC side, like Sean Porter, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. You know, I'm not saying these guys would have definitely beat him, but the possibilities were extremely high. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say, because nobody's immortal, you know what I mean? Nobody's immortal. Fellas do lose, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you fight the best. And Chocolatito, man, he fought the best of the best. That's one thing a lot of people can't say about their favorite fighter, you know what I mean? You check it. This guy actually fought the best of the best. You know, the guy, when he moved up to super flyweight, in my opinion, he wasn't as strong and physical, and even his physique, he just wasn't as ripped and cut like he was when he was in them lower weights. You know what I'm saying? But that's because, man, he's moving up in weight. You know what I mean? And these guys he fighting are much bigger, stronger guys who are actually natural super flyweights. You know, so the man Chocolatito, man. It was a pleasure watching the guy, but in my opinion, he should stay the fuck out of boxing, dogs. Take that 600K you got. Man got paid 600 grand. That goes a long way in Managua, Nicaragua, you dig? Just like the man, what's his name? Rungvisai, he got his highest paid, I believe, 170K, you know what I mean? I think he made like 80K in the first fight. This fight, damn near doubled, you know what I'm saying? It doubled what he got the first fight with 170K. That money goes a long way too in Thailand, and his paydays ain't stopping. As far as Rungvisai, if he can keep defending his title, and, hopefully he can become a star here in the United States too, He seems like a cool, humble guy, you know what I'm saying? He's the type of dude who do some greasy shit, give you headbutts, and want to give you a pound like loves to tap gloves, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he's a malicious guy, you know what I'm saying? But he's a vicious body puncher, and he's a mean mofo, you dig? So, Chocolatito, you've done everything you can in boxing, my friend. At least, Michael Carbajal, he went out with a bang, you know what I'm saying? Them fellas beat, what's the guy's name? Was it Jorge Arce? You know what I'm saying? In his last fight, he was an older dude, Michael Carbajal, when he fought the young Arce. And he beat the man, big upset, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately for this guy, Chocolatito, he can make that happen. He could try. He could attempt. Coming off a loss, everybody think he done. Fuck around and fight a guy like Inoue. Inoue wants to get him on the resume. And watch Chocolatito beat him. Which I highly doubt, but that would be equivalent of what the man Michael Carbajal did before he retired, you know what I'm saying? And try to tell you, man, these smaller weights, you know what I mean? I remember fellas like Hilario Zapata. This guy was a good fight out of Panama, you know what I mean? You check it, but, them fellas also did stay in boxing a little too long, and he started suffering devastating losses, even though he's in the Hall of Fame. Started getting his ass whooped, you know what I'm saying? Fellas like, what's his name? Jungkoo Chang from South Korea put a beating on that man. Made that man quit. Body punches. These little guys, man, they all action, That's one thing, I don't understand why people say they don't like to watch the smaller weights. I do. When I look at my TV, I see two grown-ass men fighting. You check it, I don't give a fuck what size they are. And the lower weights, them fellas throw hands. They throw hands. So, I like the smaller weights. I even actually like lower weights more than the heavyweights, to be honest. Unless it's a heavyweight super fight, because I think the lower guys are just more technically skilled, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's a heavyweight super fight where the whole world is watching, like AJ Klitschko or Deontay Wilder versus AJ, what it would be. Or even back in the G, fellas, them big pay-per-views like Lennox and Tyson, or Holyfield and Tyson, and just big heavyweight super fights. Yes, I don't know nobody who isn't a fan of that. Even that's what the casuals like. But I do enjoy watching the lower weights, man. That's why Rigondeaux's my favorite fighter. I just like to see smaller guys when they do, let their hands go, tight defense, and just they just not afraid to let their hands go, you know what I mean? So, let me know what y'all think about Chocolatito. What you think should be next for him, you know what I'm saying? Rungvisai got the world in the palm of his hands, A big fight with Rungvisai now, or it could even happen out there in Asia, in Thailand or Tokyo, Japan. Yeah, check it. They'll make much more money out there than they probably would in the United States. And on the real, that's what these guys should try to make happen. If that fight so do happen, force HBO to bring your camera crew in that big HBO truck. Put that motherfucker on a ship if you have to. And go out to the Far East. Go out to Asia. And televise a Rungvisai versus Naui fight. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think this guy, Roman Chocolatito, should do. You think he should continue fighting? You think he should, or you think it's a wrap for him, man? Like I said, the guy's going to the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? He's a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. B Marsh Boxing, I'm out.